30 minutes of power.
Welcome to Top 30 Minutes of Power, a podcast dedicated to encourage, educate, and inspire godly women to pursue their passions, with hosts Jory O'Neill and Nicole Salter. Thanks for coming. Let's get ready to power up. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of 30 Minutes of Power. I am your moderator this evening, Jory O'Neill, and leading us in our discussion this evening is the fabulous, wonderful, and exquisitely talented Miss Nicole Salter. How you doing, friend?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. So for the past 2 weeks, we've been going over obstacles that stop you from achieving your goal. Last week, we went over 5 obstacles that stop you from achieving your goal. And this week, we're going to do another 5. There's 20 altogether. So this week, we're going to go over another 5 obstacles that stop you from achieving your goals. Why? Because our goal is to make sure that we are giving you the information to equip you so that you can keep walking in Christ, number 1. And number 2, you can do God's work and achieve your goals. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to move on to number 6. The 6th reason the 6th obstacle, that stops you from achieving your goal is you do not know your why. Now, Jory just had a fabulous workshop where she helped everyone really dig into themselves and figure out what their purpose is and what they should be doing and where they should be going with their lives. And so, Jory, I would like you to touch a little bit on how you help people find their why.
So the workshop that we did, it was a 5-day Facebook challenge and had about 14 women share interest in joining. But at the end of the day, about 8 came consistently. And of the 8 that came, I was super encouraged because after the first day, there were people who had been looking, years, like trying to figure out what their God-given gifts were. And the feedback from day one was just like, it was overwhelming, honestly, because all I did, honestly, is create a space for them to kind of take away any of the excuses, to remove any of the outside noise, and just be reflective. And it was a lot of questions. And one of the exercises that we did was the 7 levels deep, which I highly recommend for anyone who is interested in learning more about their motivation. We talk about achieving your goals and obstacles to overcoming them. Consistent motivation is the catalyst for persistence.
Right.
And without persistence and perseverance, you can follow all these amazing helps, right? All these wonderful barrier breakers that Nicole is sharing. But if you don't have persistence in doing it, if you don't have the proper motivation, woo, man, it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. So the 7 levels deep exercise was tough for some women to do it alone. And so the community that we created over those 5 days, I was able to walk a couple women through those 7 level deep questions, and the results were ambiance. They were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. And so I encourage anyone, again, who is interested, definitely reach out to us. Everything was recorded. The workshop was recorded, and I turned it into a bit of a mini course. So that is available for anyone who would like just to learn more about what your motivation is, not what people have told you should do or what you, I guess, settled on doing because at the time or felt the necessity to, right? I know me, and Nicole, I think we can both relate as mothers. Sometimes we sacrifice our dreams and our goals for other people, right? And as daughters too, right? Taking care of our parents, people get older, they age, different things come up. If you're a mom to littles like we are, making sure that they're well taken care of sometimes gets in the way of
Yep.
us pursuing our goals and our dreams. But, we come on here every Monday as living proof that doesn't have to be an excuse. Like, children
Right.
and family aren't barriers, they're blessings. And if you
I like that.
properly align your day and align your time and you figure out what your motivation is, you can definitely achieve your goals. And your children will see that, and that's what they'll take with them. Right. And
Yeah.
so that's one of my motivators. Like, I want my kids to see mommy had every excuse in the world not to go after her passions, but she did it anyway.
Right.
How did she do that? Well, first and foremost, God, a duh.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Ain't nothing happening on our own strength.
God
But
and prayer, definitely.
yeah, but at the end of the day, like, it's motivation. Like, Nicole knows her why. I know my why. And that why is the thing that keeps pushing us. When we want to give up, when we want to throw in the towel, we go back to that why. And that why is like, yes, this is why I'm doing this. It's bigger than me. It's
Yeah.
bigger than how I feel. I'm off camera right now because I'm not feeling the hottest. Unwisely went to a very large, overcrowded amusement park and ate the food at the place. And I do not suggest anyone doing those things, unless they have a strong stomach, which I no longer have.
Oh my.
So,
Jory, just to simplify like what you were talking about, right? Knowing your why, some people I feel like they make it a lot more difficult than what it is. When you are hungry, what do? You eat, right? Why? Because you're hungry. It doesn't have to be anything philosophical where you're trying to explain all of the gases in your stomach that are just bubbling and causing different things to happen in your body. No, you eat because you're hungry. Okay? And from there, you go 7 layers deep, and it doesn't have to start off as you having a science degree just to figure out the basics of what your why is. And it's very important that you know your why, because your why is what is going to fuel you to do everything else. Okay? Number 2, or actually it's number 7. Number 2 for tonight, but number 7 for the whole thing. You're listening to the wrong voices. Do you have that friend where you go and you say to them, "Oh my goodness, I had an epiphany today. I really think I should go into real estate. I really enjoy it. I hear God talking to me about my past experiences. And I think that I would definitely be an asset to other people that are looking for homes in my area." And that friend looked at you and said, real estate is so competitive. Are you sure you want to get into it? Maybe you should rethink that. That's a difficult decision. That's a difficult career. Who's going to be behind you? You're not going to have anybody to help. Who are you going to tell? And they are just as negative as can be. These are the people that you probably do not want to share your dreams and your goals with. If you know your why and you are absolutely positively serious about pursuing it, you do not want to hear only negativity. Now, do you have those friends that will say, you really think you want to do that? Why do you think you want to do that? Here we go back to that why, right? Now you're explaining to them where your why came from. And after you explain to them where your why came from, they should be behind you 100%. Because if this is what I believe that I'm doing and this is what God has told me he wants me to do, you should back me up. Unless it's something going against his commandments. Now, that's a different story. If they're telling you, if you're telling people, I need to figure out a plan to kill my husband, and they're coercing you to do it, then you might want to rethink that, because that is against the 10 commandments, just so you know. Um, so when you are discussing your why with someone that you trust, because you're not going to talk about it with everyone. You want to make sure that you are talking to the right people. You want to make sure that people are guiding you in a way that will help you and not hinder you. Okay? Jory, do you want to add?
I think I think earlier this year I was listening to a podcast, and I'm not sure which podcast it was because I listen to a lot of podcasts in ebooks. So it could have been an ebook, could have been a podcast. I'm not sure. But it was a wonderful analogy that there are going to be times where people aren't able to see our goals. They're not able to see our visions. They're not able to see our dreams the way we see them
Right.
because God didn't give it to them. He gave them to us.
Very true.
And so for me, there's certain things I protect. My gifts, my talents, my dreams, like they were given by God. The same way I protect my children from, strange and dangerous people, I also protect my dreams and my goals from strange
Yes.
and dangerous people. 'Cause I'm like,
Yes.
no, you're a negative Nancy. No.
Yes.
No, I'm so sorry. You're not about to deflate me. I apologize.
Right.
I'm going to receive your bad energy. You've been shaded, you've been jaded and dissuaded way too many times. I'm good. You stay over there. I'm gonna stay over here. And I think looking for approval. I think that's probably why many of us share so freely and so willingly
Yes.
the things that God's put on our hearts to do and to accomplish, because we want to feel validated. We want to feel like,
Mhm.
I have this thing and I don't want to feel alone doing it. But the harsh reality is you might have to go it alone.
Yep.
That might be your calling. God might have called you to do this thing solo. Like there's tons of solopreneurs and they're
Right.
called that for a reason.
Yep.
Right.
Very
So
true.
I love that one. Yeah, listening to the wrong voices. Definitely. That one's a
Very
big one,
true.
Nicole.
Yes. And sometimes you def and I remember there was a time where you had done a talk and you were oh man, what was it called? Something with conflict. Which one? Falling in love with not conflict, falling in love
Feedback.
with
Fall in
criticism.
love with feet.
Feedback,
Yeah.
criticism. And I remember during that lesson, you had said there are some things that you have to look out for when you are talking to people about your dreams and your vision and your goals. And one of the things are you have to know who you're telling and what their
Yeah, what their intentions are. Super
intentions are,
important.
right? Super important. But as a married person, would you ever go to one of your single friends and ask them how to handle something in your marriage?
Absolutely not.
Probably not, right? You'd rather go to someone that is married, right? Because 9 times out of 10, your single friends want you to be single, just like them. Misery loves company. That is where the statement comes from. If someone is not doing good and they're not an entrepreneur, 9 times out of 10 they might not want you to be an entrepreneur like you want to be. They may not see the importance of you not working a 9 to 5 and following your dream. I can remember when I wanted to step out on my own, I was talking to a friend of mine and she looked at me and she's like, Nikki, I don't know what to tell you because I want a 9 to 5. I don't want to work for myself. And I mean, like, I heard her cursing, but I didn't hear the curse words come out of her mouth. But when she said, I don't want to work for myself, I don't want to be my own boss, I want to work for a company, it was like, ooh, those are bad words. But that's her dream. That's her vision. She may not be cut out for it. She doesn't have the passion for it. So be careful who you talk to and who you share your dreams with. You want to make sure that you are listening to the voices that are going to push you in a positive direction. Okay? Number Number 8, you have no plan. This is a big one because if you have no plan, how are you going to make things work? And I fell into this trap early on in my real estate career where it was like, yay, I got my license. Yay, I'm going to tell everybody on Facebook. Everybody's going to call me. And then, like, that was the end of my plan. And it was like, ooh, I got my license. I told everybody on Facebook. Nobody called. So now what? And I kind of just like sat back and was like, somebody's gonna call any day now. Somebody's gonna call 6 months later. Any day now. I came up with a plan where I said, okay, after I get the kids off to school in the morning, this is what I'm going to do. On Monday, I'm going to go and visit new builders. On Tuesday, I'm going to make sure that I'm posting about something. On Wednesday, I'm going to make sure that I'm emailing everyone in my sphere. On Thursday, I'm going to go and visit another builder. And on Friday, I'm going to answer all of my emails back. It's not until I had a plan that things actually started happening, things actually started progressing. So you have to have a plan. You have to know where you are going. If you need to go to Walmart and you don't know how to get there, do you just waste gas and drive around until you just so happen to hit one? What happens if you never hit one and you run out of gas? You're just wasting time, energy, and gas, right? Have a plan. Don't waste time. Time is too precious. Time is too important. You cannot get it back. Don't waste time. Sit down, talk to people, and make out a plan. You can find out almost anything on YouTube. Google whatever it is that you are passionate about, that you want to do, and listen to everybody else's plan. Take what you like, leave what you don't, and figure out how to make a plan that suits your life. Okay. Number 9, your goals are too vague. Jory, do you remember when we were talking about this? I want to help everybody. I do. I'm a helper. I want to help everybody.
And so,
Right?
yeah, we
Like,
came to the conclusion that that's not going to work. Just just like you need to know your why to be motivated, like you need to know who you're going to serve, right?
yes.
Some people call it like your customer avatar or like niching down. If you sell something, you need to sell the one thing. Like I know that Nicole is a master seller, so she can sell pretty much everything and anything, but she has landed on a specific medium. So she is the resin queen. That's what she does. Anything with resin, she got you, right? Coasters, candle holders, like the little cups, the glass, she got you. That's her lane. Resin, right? She even got your resin today, ain't it? It's called resin today. Yeah.
Yes, it
So,
is.
but that is what it means for your goal to be super, super like targeted. Like if you've ever been in advertisement or marketing, you hear when they talk about, oh, you need to have a target market. Your goal needs to have a target, or else you're not going to hit the mark. Like you're going to miss every single time if you have no idea what you're aiming for.
Yep.
You can spin your wheels. I want to make money. I want to make money. Well, making money is nice, but there are tons of ways, both legally and illegally, to do that. So, how are you
Which
planning
route
to
you
make?
gonna go?
Yeah, like, how are you planning to make this money?
That's right.
Are you trying to get residual income, rental income? Are you gonna sell something? Are you gonna provide a service? Or like you gonna fix stuff? You gonna resell stuff? Like, how are you planning to make this money? And so I feel like a lot of times people are like, well, my goal is to get out of debt. Okay, that's dope. How you plan to do that? Well, I'm gonna work overtime. Okay, so you working overtime, and the interest on all of those credit cards that you just ran up ain't going nowhere. So, and you still spending on cable, you still spending on Uber Eats, you haven't reduced your spending, but you're saying you want to get out of debt. All right. So let's look at exactly how this is going to work, right? And so I think, yeah, vague goals, man, those will trip you up every single time. When your goals are way vague, I it's like the hamster wheel syndrome.
Yep. But
Like
that
you're
also goes back to having a plan, right? If your
yeah,
goals are vague, how can you have a plan? Because the plan for you to have a 9 to 5 and the plan for you to have your own business are two different plans. They're not the same. Or your plan for you to do something illegal and your plan for you to do something legal are not the same. You're not going
nah,
to do them
nah.
the same way. So
No, you won't. One you gonna promote on Facebook and one you not. So your market is gonna be a little tough if you do
yeah,
illegal stuff.
right, right. So you definitely have to make sure you have a plan. You need some sort of beginning dates, end dates to hold yourself accountable. That's a whole nother line that we'll get into another day. But you definitely want to make sure that you have a plan so that way you can be more focused and more organized and you can start hitting your goals because that's our end result, right? We want to make sure that we're hitting our goals. And if we have plans and we hit our goal, then we can make another goal and it'll have a plan. And then we hit another goal and it'll have a plan. Wow, I did this, and this. But if you don't have a plan, hard for you to get there. Have people done it? Probably. Do I know any? No. Everyone that I know that has been successful had a plan. Somehow, one way, shape, or form, they figured out what they needed to do. They had a plan to get it done. You need a plan. A plan helps you to be better organized and be more efficient. You won't be wasting your time. Okay? Number 10, you're hanging out with the wrong crew. How many of us constantly hang out with the same people that do the same thing every day and they do not understand why we want something different? I can remember one of my friends, her son came to her and said, "Mom, how come you don't hang out with Miss Jackson anymore?" And he said, "How come you don't hang out with Miss Jackson anymore? Are you too good for her now?" And she said, "You know, son, it has nothing about me being too good for Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson and I, we were good friends when we were in school. Now that we're adults, we don't want the same things. So there's not much for us to help. It's not much for us to talk about. It's not much for us to help each other with. Miss Jackson wants a 9 to 5. I want to be on my own. There's nothing that Miss Jackson and I have in common anymore." And that's a big thing. That's a big thing for you to understand, for you to realize. Not everybody is going to be on this journey with you. You are going to lose people, maybe because of jealousy, or maybe because you're too busy. Because with a 9 to 5, I have to do what somebody else tells me to do. When I'm doing my own thing, when I'm an entrepreneur, I have to figure out what needs to be done on my own. I'm not going to rely on something that someone else wants me to do, right? That is unless I'm serving or I'm selling something to someone. But ultimately, I'm calling the shots. I got to figure out what's going to happen and what's not. I can't dictate, what somebody else has to do. So you're going to lose some people. You're not always going to have the same friends. It's just not going to happen. And you have to make sure that the people you are hanging with understand where you want to go and they're able to take you there. Or they might be already there and they might know all of the secrets, tricks, and trades, and they can help you be better and be more efficient at getting where you need to go.
I think that's the hard part that a lot of people have. They wanna go after a different lifestyle but hang with the same people. And for me, it's difficult with the limited time I have because although I am an entrepreneur, I'm also still trading time for money. I do still have a full-time gig outside of raising the kids and whatnot. And so finding those people who have already done what I'm trying to do or who are masters at things that I'm a novice at, it's difficult, but God bless the World Wide Web, right? Because I can go and spend time in a clubhouse room and connect and network and learn from folks who they pour into me. They encourage me. They build me up. These are strangers, right? Most of the cats I hang out with, like they're either in Australia or they're over in London because of the time that I'm up and my kids ain't. It's not like normal regular human people who's in America. They ain't up that early. So
Right. Right.
3 in the
I'm
morning.
trying, girl. I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, 3 in the morning. They ain't up yet. So I need that. I need to be in alignment with folks who are trying to be successful. I had this conversation actually this past weekend with a gentleman who was like, I don't understand why people they don't pursue their dreams. This America is the land of plenty, the land of opportunity, and he's Haitian American, right? And he was, born in Haiti, came here at a very young age, and was raised in a predominantly white area in Long Island. And I'm like, okay, so you were raised with people who had stuff. And so because you were literally saturated, like you were immersed in this culture of privilege, regardless of what happened in your household, you were surrounded by folks who had, who
Right.
were, their parents were accomplished. And so that's contagious.
It is.
Similarly, the crabs in a bucket mentality is also contagious.
Yes.
And so just like you should protect your dreams, you should protect your goals, you should also protect your time and you should protect your energy. And I tell people that now, they look at me like I have 7 eyes, but I'm like, no, I am protecting my energy. You are a very negative human.
Yes.
So our interaction is going to be extremely limited. And it's not because I think I'm better than you. It's because I know better.
Right.
It is not because I am better than you. I know better.
Right. I think that's something hard for everyone too, right? I feel like a lot of people, because they don't want to come off as if I am better, they sink themselves in to this bubble of the folks that they're around that they can't seem to leave, and it's like, oh, I can't want more than what she has because I don't want to be better. And it has being better or not. What it is you just simply wanting more, simply wanting something different. That's the whole thing behind it, You want something different, and that is okay. And that is something that we have to be okay with. We have to be okay with the fact that, you know what? You've been my friend since junior high school, and I love you to bits. However, I don't want to live in the hood no more. I don't want to rent. I don't want to live in an apartment. If you want to do that, and if that is okay for you in your life, it is fine. But it is not okay for me, and I am ready to move on. I'm ready to go to the next step. Does that mean that I think I'm better than you? No. But I think that I deserve, right? Because I work hard. I think I deserve to go and pay my own mortgage instead of paying somebody else's. I don't want to rent anymore. I want my own house. And I think a lot of people, when they start to have that feeling, when they start to get that mentality, and others around them are still in the rental mentality, they automatically put themselves down and throw the dream away because it's like, oh, this is what it is. This is where we are. And everybody else has it. So I just have to be comfortable with what I have and not want more. And that it's really sad that people feel that way. It's really sad, and it hurts me to the core because people stop themselves from achieving more just to please other people.
So I wanna combat that statement slightly. Uh, and it's not. I don't know if combat is the right word, but my some people have never seen it done. So
You're
it's
right.
not. It's not even like, oh, I want more, but I have a limited mindset. Like some people literally, like legit, never seen it done. They never seen somebody come from the hood and go cop a house. And because I never seen it, I don't know that it's possible for me. And so again, it comes to who are you hanging with? Because if I'm hanging with folks who've never done it, then it's not about wanting more because it's not about being comfortable. It's not being an underachiever. This is my reality. Nature versus nurture. I'm raised in a specific environment and I still see the same type of people in this environment. So there is no difference. Now, I think where I agree with you 1,000,000% is if I've seen it done, but I'm too scared to go after it, even though it's something I want, right? Like that part. So I don't want to put down folks who rent. Uh,
Oh,
but
yeah, I'm definitely not putting down folks who rent. Like, if what I'm saying is, if that life is for you, it is okay. And I need you to be okay with me wanting something different.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If renting
yeah,
is for you, renting is for you. I know people that refuse to own a car. And I'm like, but why do you want to lease a car every 3 years and have payments? And they're like, Nicole, if I lease a car every 3 years, my oil changes are paid for, my tire rotations are paid for, and I get a new car every 3 years. I want a new car every 3 years. I don't want to finance. You know what? That is okay. That is what you want to do. That is okay. For me, I want to buy my car cash because I don't want to pay every month. And if I have
word,
to pay for my oil changes and if I have to pay for my tire rotations and whatever else comes with it, I'm willing to do that because I
yeah,
don't want to pay a car note every single month. You want a brand new car every 3 years. I don't need a brand new car every 3 years. I am quite content with owning a new car every 3 years. It is okay. This is the life that you are comfortable with. It is okay. This is the life that is best for you and your family. It is okay. But for me to think that you are better than me because you want to waste money and you want a brand new car every 3 years, I'm wrong. Our lives are not the same. Our lives are very different. I am okay with the choices that you have made for your family and your life, as long as you're not putting anyone in danger, right? You have to be okay with the choices that I make for my life. And if I do not want a 9 to 5, I should not have to diminish my dream so that you do not feel I am better than you. That's what I was getting at when I was talking about renting versus owning. If you want to rent for the rest of your lives, listen, it's hard to believe, but I know people that want to be on food stamps for the rest of their lives. And their parents were on food stamps for their whole lives. And it's not that they don't know better, or it's not that they they don't know what to do. This is where they're comfortable at. And if that's where you're comfortable at, listen, all power be it. That's where you're comfortable at. I cannot judge you according to your life. I cannot tell you that you are doing something wrong unless you are actually breaking the law, right? If this is how you want to live, that is okay. But if I'm on food stamps and I want to work my butt off so that I can get off food stamps, you can't tell me that I'm better than you just because I don't want to be on food stamps anymore. You understand what I'm trying to say? And neither one of them is right nor wrong. It's whatever is comfortable for you and your family.
So yeah. So I didn't. I feel like I feel like I took a detour a little bit. So I was mainly saying that, if folks want to rent, especially if they want to rent my properties, they can do so. Like I don't look down on you if you want to rent from me. I'm fine with you renting from me, right? You don't need a house if you can rent from me. I'm okay with that, So that's why I was
pay your rent every month.
as long as you pay your rent, right? that's all I was getting. I ain't want nobody just everybody go cop a house tomorrow. No, because then who gonna rent from me?
As long as I'm your realtor, it's okay.
There we go. You sell it, I rent it. They pay. That's it. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. All right, I love that. So top 5. Here's the next 5. Number 6 to 10. You don't know your why. You're listening to the wrong voices. You have no plan. Your goals are too vague. And number 10, you are hanging with the wrong crew of humans. Nicole, thank you so much just for going through those. Because to be honest with you, I think they're all linked, right? Knowing your why then creates kind of like a bulletproof vest for those wrong voices. And knowing the why also helps you create the plan. Knowing the plan and the why motivates you to niche down and figure out what your target is. And then if you know your target, if you know where you're going, you're not going to have time to hang with the wrong people because you're focused. Like you're in the zone.
Yes.
Right? And anybody who's not on that same path, they're not on the same road, they're going to fall away.
Right.
They're going to fall by the wayside. Right. And so, yeah, dope session. Dope session.
Yes,
Love
this was a very great conversation. I thank everyone for listening. Please don't forget to email us if you have any questions, comments, concerns. azironsharpensiron@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. It's Nicole Salter and Jory O'Neill signing out.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you for listening. We pray you have been empowered by the message. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, join our free Facebook group, AZ Iron Sharpens Iron. Every Monday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, meet us back here for another session of empowerment. Share this episode with another woman who needs to be empowered. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, be an empowered woman using your power to empower others.
20 minutes of power.